I don't get it. I guess all that remains to say is Scott Higgins! It's Tuesday, Tuesday, Tuesday. The day that time forgot. See, I'm wearing all of my comfort attire tonight because I am, shall we say, anything but comfy. Yes, it's been a challenging couple of days here. More about that later, though. I'm gonna dwell on it in detail. Or maybe I won't. Maybe this will turn out to be the thing that saves me. Holly Trout Cooper is in the house. Wow. Wow. There's Trouts in the house. There's Burgess in the house. Sager's in the house. Webbs, Swanlers, Higginses. Yeah, Overstotts, Snyders. All the classic human beings from my youth. Bridget Lacey is in the house. Bill Willem is in the house. I know I'm missing people. I'm missing people. Oh no, it's bad. There's Mug. Hey Mug, how you doing? Excellent, excellent. Here we go, here we go. And a one, and a two, and a three, a four, a five.
Swallow another pill, you go. With a kick drum inside your head, you go. When the only safe people are dead, you go. Insanity's a weapon for the modern urban night. Check the dude with the paper shoes. If he don't look at you right, then you better go. You better go, go. You better go. With your drive-through mentality, you go. But when image is your specialty, you go. When you work through the setting sun, you go. When you just can't smile at another one, you go. Yes, you go, go. Insanity's a weapon for the modern urban night. If you can't find a face that fits, then you better stay out of sight. But just go. You can always go. Better go. Better go. When you can't tell who's pulling the plug, you go. When you don't know who's selling the drug, you go. When you're tapped by the empty eyes, you go. And when all you got to give is lies, you go, 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 go. Insanity's a weapon for the modern urban night. They're lining up just to knock you down. If you can't put up a fight, then you better go. You better go. You better go, 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 go. You better go, 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 go. Insanity's a weapon for the modern urban night. If you can't find a face that fits, then you better stay out of sight. I just go. You better go. You better go, go. You better go, 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 go. You better go, you better keep it down. You better thank it. You better. And then you walk down to the at the. Where you go? There you go. Big start. Big fun. Gammon Pete. Oh, that's good, Joe. That's good, Joe. Thanks, Ma. As always. Oh. Team Mitra.
The Litany of the Cups. Oh, sorry. Methow Valley people? Rick Lewis, anybody? Hello. Hello, there's Rick. Hey, Rick. Val, haven't seen it yet. Haven't seen it yet, Val. Yep, still looking for it. Portland, Oregon. Gary Schulstead. But I'm glad you're here, Val. Cindy Clark. Cindy Clark is here. Hayden Reese is here. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Well, I need to tell you that it's been a rough, about the last 36 hours, I guess, has been rough. I've had some, well, I think what I'm having is I'm having a reaction to a medication that I was on that was giving me some relief up to a certain point, but then it kind of got squirrely. I was out for my walk day before yesterday, right? Was it day before yesterday? I can't even remember that part. And I suddenly, it was rainy and it was windy. When was that day? It was rainy and windy at the same time. And the wind was coming up from the south and the rain was angling in. And I was walking westbound on 185th Street, northeast 185th Street to be exact. And the rain was hitting me and I was walking uphill and I was on a sidewalk. It was an uneven sidewalk and I wasn't wearing my glasses because oftentimes in the mornings when I'm walking, I can see better without my glasses. So I had left my glasses sitting on the stairs at home when I left. And suddenly I couldn't remember how to walk. Now this had not happened to me before. But I was having some, it was because of, I think it was the wind, it was the rain, it was the glasses, it was the sidewalk. I usually walk on the asphalt in the street because it's less uneven. You know, these sidewalks with the tree roots that make the sidewalks go like this. My depth perception wasn't working. Stumbled a couple of times and then I stopped to kind of get my bearings and then I couldn't remember how to start. So, right there. So I had my phone with me. I always have my phone with me. And I had my phone out of my pocket. And I was thinking, maybe I need to call Diane and have her come and pick me up because I couldn't remember how to walk. And then I thought, well, let's see, what if I just lean forward? So I leaned forward and then I had to put my foot out to catch me. And then I kind of got going again. And when I got up the street, I got out of the wind and out of the sideways rain and was heading north on, I think, First Avenue. Suddenly I started to feel better, and by the time I got back, towards home, I was feeling fine again, but it was a weird thing. Then I started noticing some other stuff, and my head felt swimmy, and then I tried to play the guitar that day. My hands didn't seem to be working as well, and I was like, oh no, not the hand thing again. But it didn't seem like the same hand thing. It was a different kind of a hand thing. And then I had the swimmy head thing, and the hand thing was happening, and I was like, wait, this can't be right. Well, so I decided that it's the medication I've been taking, and so I just decided to cut back on that. So that's where I'm at. So if I can't tell you guys this stuff, then I don't know how to do these shows because this is the mindset in which I enter the treehouse. But the whole week I've been like, I'm going to do the treehouse. I'm just going to be, I'll just be there. I'm going to be straight up with people. I still got some of the swimmy head stuff. My hands are still feeling a little wonky. So if I don't make it a full hour tonight, you'll let me live, right? You'll let me go. Or maybe we'll just do an extra long poetry break. I'm just kind of feeling my way along here as best I know how. Okay? So you got to just kind of let me slide on that. And I'll try not to dwell on it too much. Sometimes I think, I'm always Mr. Peppy, Mr. Yippy Skippy, Mr. Happy, Mr. Slappy Happy. What happens if I have a bad night? I wanted to say thank you because I've got all up along here, last week I did the show with Jim, so I wasn't able to say thank you for the birthday cards that I had gotten and the thank you notes that I've gotten. I got this beautiful little bird, which you can't see very well because it's all the lights and the weirdness, but Deb Hedin sent me this beautiful little felt hummingbird that she made along with a beautiful thank you note. And then I got a nice birthday card from Tamitra. And I got a nice birthday card from my mom, and I got a beautiful birthday card from Diane, and I got a beautiful thank you note from Milt Foreman. I got a beautiful thank you note and letter from Alan Hicks. I got, what else have I got? I got a beautiful thank you note from Taylor and Sarah and Axel and Levi, who I think are nearby tonight. And I got a nice birthday card from my sister Marianne, who sits here. And I got a beautiful birthday card from Kelly and Mary. Actually, a very funny birthday card from Kelly and Mary. I'll show you this one because this is the rock and roll bands for folks your age. You know, the Grateful Not to Be Dead, the Earth, Wind and Fiber, Fleetwood Crack. You've probably seen this one, the Boobie Brothers. Yeah. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Not So Young. Because, you know, I had a birthday back there. Right. So, thanks everybody for these beautiful cards. And then and then Diane and I had our 13th anniversary this last weekend. She gave me a beautiful card that had a Shakespeare sonnet written in tiny print in here. There's actually a Shakespeare sonnet in there. I had to look it up because, you know, I think she assumed I wouldn't be able to read off the small print. It was a beautiful sonnet, which I will not read because I'm not good at reading Shakespeare sonnets. And I also got a nice card from Cindy Snyder down there, and she's down in Coos Bay, Oregon, driving the bus. I gave a card to Diane, and I wrote a poem in it. The poem went like this. Open-ended questions lead to secret meanings between lovers in old age. What deepens is the fascination of our different ways and how the spirit of our desires flies from the same cliffs into the unknown of every shared sunrise. I will talk to you longer than you will listen, just to see and hear the wondering in your eyes, the study on your lips, and how you lean into every scrap of joy, making it my joy too. You let my heart overflow into the world. I surrender everything to our love. Wrote that for my wife on our anniversary. Now I should probably try and read the Shakespeare sonnet. Maybe I'll try it later. Anyway, so I'm having I got some leg pain. I got some lower back pain. I got the swimmy head. I got the weird hands. Let's play some music. What do you say?
Still clinging to the reason I asked you here, still peering through the periscope. I look around and see plastic opportunity. I pick it up and there's only hope. Blame it all on some backlit fantasy of spending too long staring out at the sun. Just think if I could sing and we could listen with the radio on. With the radio on, yeah. Coffee's cooking and the bulbs are all burning and last drops of some midnight fuel. Sometimes I'm choking on something that's broken and sometimes I'm polishing up a jewel. Up and down is my pattern of living and I know it ain't a whole lot of fun. Just think if I could sing and we could listen with the radio on. With the radio on, yeah. Patience hides inside a mound of emotions and we miss the things that we need the most. This may not seem like any courageous moment, but I'll change the diaper, you make the toast. Blame it all on some backlit fantasy of spending too long staring out at the sun. Just think if I could sing and we could listen with the radio on. With the radio on, yeah. With the radio, radio, radio on. Radio on.
There you go. Radio On. That's from, what's that from? That's from Lifelike, isn't it? Isn't that from Lifelike? One of those records back there. Hoo-wee! Hoo-wee! What is that? Hearken! Do I hear unto cometh the hand? Yes. Yes, the hand doth cometh. Hello, hand. I need to thank you, hand, for your deep understanding of my various and sundry neuroses. You know, if you think it's weird when I get here, you should be with me a couple hours before the show. Oh boy. Goodness gracious. Let's see, we got Mug. We got Tamitra, we got Scott and Rhonda, we got Bill Willem, we got Val Sanford, we got Cindy Clark, we got Cindy Snyder, we got Deb and Rich Hedin, we got Frank Vernon and Lori too. Welcome. We've got Jeff Steve. We've got Joseph Webb and Kat. We've got Charlotte, Henry, and Stefan. We got Roland and Dorothy. We got Rick Lewis. We got Monica Holverstadt. We got Mark Kenny. We got Lori Trout. We got Kelly and Mary. We got Kathy and Loris. Yeah. We got Jim Endicott and Hayden Reese. Wow. And more. And more. And more. And overflowing. Holly Trout Cooper. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate your understanding. I do. In fact, why wait? Why wait? Oof. That's right, friends. More uke, more often. Daddy was an old-time preacher man. He preached the word of God throughout the land. He preached so plain a child could understand. Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man. He told the people of the need to pray. He talked about God's wrath and judgment day. He spoke about the great eternity. He preached hell so hot that you could feel the heat. Daddy was an old-time preacher man. He preached the word of God throughout the land. He preached so plain a child could understand. Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man. Revivals and camp meetings went for weeks. People came from miles around to hear him preach. Daddy said if one is saved, it's worth it all. But the aisles were always filled at altar call. Daddy was an old-time preacher man. He preached the word of God throughout the land. He preached so plain a child could understand. Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. We're on our way to Canaan land. Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man. Daddy worked for God, but he received no pay. For he believed the Lord provides a way. We never had a lot, but we got by, 'cause the Lord was always on my daddy's side. Daddy was an old-time preacher man. He preached the word of God throughout the land. He preached so plain a child could understand. Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man. Daddy was an old-time preacher man. He preached the word of God throughout the land. He preached so plain a child could understand. Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man. In the sweet by and by,
We shall meet on that beautiful shore. We're on our way to Canaan land. Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man. Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man.
There you go. That's an old stomper. That's an old stomper from the beach fires of Fox Island and Vashon Island in our youth. Now, when my sister and I were little kids, we used to sing a song called the Mix-Up Song. That's what we called it. We used to lay in our beds now, and I would be down at this end of the hall, and she'd be down at this end of the hall, and it wasn't a very long hallway. We'd have our doors open, and we'd say, we'd both be laying in bed at night. We'd be like, let's do Mix-Up. Let's sing Mix-Up. So she would sing one verse. We only knew 2 verses of this song. She'd sing one verse, and I'd sing the other verse, and we'd try to mix each other up. And whoever got mixed up first, lost or whatever. I always imagine our parents downstairs, listening to this and going. So, we only knew 2 verses of the song. Well, I did some research, and I found out several very important things. First of all, I discovered a few more verses to the song. None of them are as good as the 2 verses that we remembered. We remembered the best verses. Our dad taught us this song when we were little kids. This is like when we were small. But I also discovered that the song was written by none other than Utah Phillips. Utah Phillips, who I saw many times in my later life at Whitworth, among other places, because he lived in Spokane for many years. I saw Utah Phillips perform many times, and I never heard him sing this song. But it was amazing to find out not only some of the other verses to the song, but the fact that it was written by Utah Phillips. It just seemed like, that's just too perfect. My dad knew a Utah Phillips song. My dad taught us a Utah Phillips song. Unbelievable.
Once I had a big giraffe. Once I had a big giraffe. Oh, how that giraffe could laugh. He put beer in his bubble bath. Oh, sing in the spring, sing in the fall. Sing when I hear my baby bawl. Sing all day, all night too. Hush your crying, I'll sing for you. I had a mule, his name was Jack. I had a mule, his name was Jack. And when I climbed up on his back, he damn near died of a heart attack. Oh, sing in the spring, sing in the fall. Sing when I hear my baby bawl. Sing all day, all night too. Hush your crying, I'll sing for you. Had a canary all yellow and green. Had a canary all yellow and green. Dumbest bird you'd ever seen, but he could cuss like a big marine. Oh, sing in the spring, sing in the fall. Sing when I hear my baby bawl. Sing all day, all night too. Hush your crying, I'll sing for you. Had a little lamb I used to keep. Had a little lamb I used to keep. And when I'd tell him to go to sleep, he'd count people instead of sheep. Oh, sing in the spring, sing in the fall. Sing when I hear my baby bawl. Sing all day, all night too. Hush your crying, I'll sing for you. Once I had a horse named Tex. Once I had a horse named Tex. Signed his name with an X and made his living forging checks. So sing in the spring, sing in the fall. Sing when I hear my baby bawl. Sing all day, all night too. Hush your crying, I'll sing for you. I had everything short and tall. I had everything short and tall. Round and fat, big and small. But I guess my baby is the best of all. Oh, sing in the spring, sing in the fall. Sing when I hear my baby bawl. Sing all day, all night too. Hush your crying, I'll sing for you. Sing in the spring, sing in the fall. Sing when I hear my baby bawl. Sing all day, all night too. Hush your crying, I'll sing for you.
There you go. That one was from Ugg. Yeah. You didn't mix me up. Neener, neener. I mixed myself up a little bit, but you know. What are you gonna do? Oh, okay. You can do it, Bill. See, I gotta hang that back up, otherwise things just don't look right around here, you know? They just don't look right. Yeah. That's the deal. That's the deal. So, where are we at here? Where are we at? We got is it okay if we go to poetry break? Poetry break! Poetry break a little bit early. Because I gotta tell you, I'm feeling a little peaked. A little rough around the edges tonight. A little rough, yeah, around the edges. So the sooner I can plant myself on my stump, the better I'm gonna feel tonight. There you go, Bill. Okay, that's better. That's much better. Yes, thank you very much. So we had the pleasure, myself and the hand, of going out, venturing forth into the world. Yes, we ventured forth into the world. We did this. When did we do this? We did this on my birthday. Yeah, which was a week ago Saturday, right? Because last Saturday was my son James's birthday and Henry's birthday. Henry, who's here tonight. But the week before that, it was my birthday, and we got to go out. We went for a drive, drove down to the Edmonds waterfront and kind of tooled along the waterfront there. It was a Saturday, so there was a lot of people, so we decided we weren't going to get out and walk on the beach because, you know, we're old and we're infirm, and I've got this autoimmune thing, and so we're probably more cautious than a lot of you young kids out there. And we feel okay about it. And we're kind of in that we fall in the cracks. We're not quite old enough to be able to get the vaccine yet. I know I kind of qualify. We're kind of waiting our turn on the vaccine thing. Though I hear some folks are actually getting theirs, which is great. Pretty soon there's going to be people walking around. There's going to be vaccinated people walking around and non-vaccinated people walking around. I think it'll be an okay transition. Yeah. Anyway, so we drove down to the waterfront. Then we went to the Couth Buzzard bookstore. Hung out, said hi to Theo and Sarah down there. I dropped off a couple of poetry books because I wanted to give Theo a book and give Sarah a book because those people have been so very generous and kind to us. So we went there, got a coffee, kibitzed for a while, and then got back in the car. We headed over to Kyle Gresham's house because Kyle is moving with his family down to California. I had to take Kyle a poetry book. He had another book of mine that he wanted to return, so I got to chat with Kyle and his wife there for a while, and that was great because they're going to be heading out. Going to miss those guys, but maybe they'll drop by here once in a while. And then we went over to Mr. David Pileski's house. Now you know David Pileski. Sorry, I didn't mean to get into your space there. He's the guy who did this picture. He's the guy who did the cover painting for Night Sky. And he has a bunch of new artwork, and we got to visit with him. We were talking philosophy, stuff. It was mostly Diane and Dave talking. I was just kind of sitting there, being fascinated by this cool stuff that they were talking about, you know, and looking at his paintings and stuff, and just being in the Church of the Divine Puttering for a little while. Absolutely glorious. So it was nice to see Pileski. And so that was my birthday. Then I came home and we ordered a pizza from Pizzeria Pagliacci. I'm not usually eating gluten, but I splurged on my birthday, and so that was lovely. And last Saturday, we got to go over and see Henry and Charlotte and Stefan to celebrate Henry's birthday. Yeah. And I gave Henry my old copy of Gary Snyder's Rip Rap and Cold Mountain Poems, which I had bought at the Whitworth College bookstore in 1979. Now, it just so happens that I went onto a bookstore site and found another copy of the old edition. They've done a 50th anniversary edition of Rip Rap, but it doesn't have this cool picture on the cover, and it doesn't have this cool picture inside of Gary Snyder at Sourdough Mountain Lookout. And I was like, I can't give Henry a facsimile. So I gave Henry my old copy, and then that same day I found another copy online and was able to order it up. So now Henry and I both have one. Yeah. So happy 9th birthday to Henry. And I wanted to read a couple of these poems just because, well, first of all, the only poem that I know of that I have completely memorized is the first poem in this book, and it's called Mid-August at Sourdough Mountain Lookout. Down valley, a smoke haze. 3 days' heat after 5 days' rain. Pitch glows on the fir cones. Across rocks and meadows, swarms of new flies. I cannot remember things I once read. A few friends, but they are in cities. Drinking cold snow water from a tin cup, looking down for miles through high, still air. Did I get it right? Yes! Nailed it. Yeah, I know, it's not a very long poem. I've got so many songs in my head that I have a hard time memorizing poems. Yeah. But I do have several songs in my head, except for the ones that are slipping out, because of reasons that we've already discussed probably several times. So these are just the greatest hits from Rip Rap. Oh, I should read Milton by Firelight. Milton by Firelight. Oh, hell, what do mine eyes with grief behold? Working with an old single-jack miner who can sense the vein and cleavage in the very guts of rock, can blast granite, build switchbacks that last for years under the beat of snow, thaw, mule hooves. What use, Milton, a silly story of our lost general parents, eaters of fruit? The Indian, the chainsaw boy, and a string of 6 mules came riding down to camp, hungry for tomatoes and green apples. Sleeping in saddle blankets under a bright night sky. Han River slantwise by morning. Jays squall. Coffee boils. In 10,000 years the Sierras will be dry and dead, home of the scorpion. Ice-scratched slabs and bent trees, no paradise, no fall. Only the weathering land, the wheeling sky, man with his Satan scouring the chaos of the mind. Oh, hell. Fire down, too dark to read, miles from a road, the bell mare clangs in the meadow, that packed dirt for a fill-in, scrabbling through loose cracks, loose rocks on an old trail, all of a summer's day. I had an old scratchy cassette of Gary Snyder reading that I had back at Whitworth College, and I used to love the way he read that poem. You know, worked with an old single-jack miner who could sense the vein and cleavage in the very guts of rock. Good. You know, the way he staggered those lines, the way he read them, I was just like, blew my mind. Hay for the Horses. Probably one of Snyder's most anthologized poems. He had driven half the night from far down San Joaquin, through Mariposa, up the dangerous mountain roads, and pulled in at 8 a.m. with his big truckload of hay behind the barn. With winch and ropes and hooks, he stacked the bales up clean to splintery redwood rafters, high in the dark, flecks of alfalfa whirling through shingle cracks of light, inch of hay dust in the sweaty shirt and shoes. At lunchtime under black oak, out in the hot corral, the old mare nosing lunch pails, grasshoppers crackling in the weeds. I'm 68, he said. I first bucked hay when I was 17. I thought that day I started, I sure would hate to do this all my life. And damn it, that's just what I've gone and done. Yep. One more from this, then I'm going to read a couple of mine. Rip Rap. You know, Rip Rap is a cobble of stones, right? It's got a definition here in the front. A cobble of stone laid on a steep, slick rock to make a trail for horses in the mountains. Rip Rap. Lay down these words before your mind like rocks, placed solid by hands in choice of place, set before the body of the mind in space and time. Solidity of bark, leaf, or wall, rip-rap of things, cobble of Milky Way, straying planets, these poems, people, lost ponies with dragging saddles, and rocky surefoot trails. The world's like an endless, four-dimensional game of Go. Ants and pebbles in the thick loam, each rock a word, a creek-washed stone, granite ingrained with torment of fire and weight, crystal and sediment linked hot, all change in thoughts as well as things. Gary Snyder. There he is. He's 90. He's 90. Yeah. Wow. So, Pandemic Suite. Dear, let me curl my leg around you, dear morning, first devotion, first light and friend. What is it to have returned in a moment's gloss to the sounds of rain on the shingle, on the sill, shadows of stain from a leaky roof, warm dampness of September? Does it mean there will be peace? Will the questions of the sleepless be addressed in this mist? Who could have guessed we would flower so, foresee this bright entanglement in the dims of middle age? Let me curl my heart around you, dear tablet, giver of wings and bones, taker of years, hearts, parents, and children. Know me as you always have, driven out of wind, out of bus rides and walks, to empty my pockets here. Brief though we are at this table, there is still the rain to be learned, the stars to be sung. I won't ask for much more. Maybe a breeze to ripple these empty sheets, and ink equal to their edges. I'm not sure where to go from here. I just knew I was going to start there. Yeah. How about Harbor? I woke up late in gray light because my alarm didn't go off and I wasn't able to go walking in the pre-dawn dark, which is my favorite thing to do. My thinking feels clumsy and slow, like climbing stairs in baggy pants or reciting the dictionary with a mouthful of nails. I am not my best self. Luckily, the world is in quarantine, so very few people are exposed to my limits. Just my wife, the kindest, most forgiving soul. She lets me keep my necessary distance. She knows where my unfiltered mind goes when the moss grows thick on the branches and old fires still smolder in the stumps, all of it rolling toward a dark harbor. Yeah, she does know. She does know. Thank you, my darling, for knowing and staying, not kicking me to the curb. Toward home. When pain is a companion, at least we're not alone. The morning walk is troubled again, a storm of nerves. We try to forget, to walk tall, but this day rises out of the hollow that grips our right leg, and ease is back home at the writing desk, waiting. Too early for crows, too early for the moon to leave its bed of cloud. Even the streetlights abandon us halfway up the hill. Just past the skeleton of an old tree, the moon takes pity, comforts us with a 3/4 glow, marking the turn toward home. Each rung. When I say I can't imagine what it's like for you, it's meant as a humane gesture, but it's really an indictment. Me claiming power over you. It puts a wall between us where only I am safe. How can I unpack the language I lean on every day? Now that I recognize, what is the next small action to lead me out of deep weeds? Throwing my hands up in despair is a hiding place. There's a ladder around here somewhere. Each rung is another question I have never asked myself before. Catching a theme here. Ode to the Body on Samhain. Oh, you buzzing limbs, eyes fogged by habit and excess, you middle gone thicker with muscle and gristle, sending back signals as you pass. You hands of confusion, groin of repose, remember your nerves and blood. Call out to your clarity, your tactile poverty, the warm skin that lit you with smoothness and dew. Cloudy recollections there on the far shore with their backs to you. O body of gathering, don't let them go. They are all that connect you to all that you know. O body of thin skin, remember, forgetting is letting the gravedigger win. One more. Dun, 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 dun. This is a real book. Wow. Finding my way back. Now that I am finally in love, my previous neediness has a defined shape. Fingernails grow more quickly, and packages arrive on time. Has circumstance always affected things so? The mail, the bus schedule, the dentist appointment, all have good news in them when seen from the balcony of love. This kind of intimate relation bends time around corners, reheats cold teacups, tells fortunes at the farmer's market for $1, and then gives the dollar back. In the mornings after I told my tales to paper, I go back to bed to hold her. 20 minutes between the alarms, to feel her ribs expand with breathing, to feel her breasts compress against my chest, to run my hands across her warmth. This doesn't seem to bother her at all. In fact, she reciprocates, finding nerve endings I've forgotten about. She ties tiny knots in my memory so I can find my way back, through various fogs of age and forgetting, to the blaze of our continual beginning. Wanted to finish up with one for Diane. Okie dokie. Ooh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. There's a guy that lives in our complex who has this scooter. It has no muffler on it. So it sounds like someone's riding a chainsaw into the parking lot. Yeah. Aren't you glad I shared that? Took the maple tree, I poured the coffee strong. I sat down at the window near where it had stood so long. The pen was on the paper and the sun was on the ground. It heated up my strings until they had to make a sound. Well, they're singing, bring it back. The green is falling down and the clearing's getting wider here in Stump Town. The day they took the maple tree, we killed another lake high up on a mountain near some stuff we had to take. Now the Mississippi's crying and the Colorado too. They're calling out their sorrow, which is all that they can do. Well, they're singing, bring it back. The green is falling down and the clearing's getting wider here in Stump Town.
maple tree, the poet passed away. He sat down at the window just like any other day. The pen was on the paper and the crows were on the fence. They gathered in their hundreds for some noisy reverence. Well, they're singing, bring him back. The green is falling down and the clearing's getting wider here in Stump Town. Does our singing set us free to sell the soul inside the tree, to sell whatever hope we see? Is that what's to be? Is that what's to be? Took the maple tree, I dreamed about my kids. They were calling out my notebook from the place I kept it hid. And there amid the failures and the winking sheets of rain, my pen was on the paper in the shape of this refrain. Did my singing bring it back? The green is falling down and the clearing's getting wider here in Stump Town. Did my singing bring it back? The green is falling down and the clearing's getting wider here in Stump Town. Did our singing bring it back? Will our singing bring it back?
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Hey kids, gather around the ICU2 TV set because I'm fading fast. Let's get some birthdays in here, shall we? I got nothing for today. Was nobody born on March the 9th? I don't know. If they were, I couldn't find them. I even looked for some celebrities. I don't know any of the celebrities anymore. I saw this big list of celebrities. I didn't recognize them a single name. That's what it's like to be old. But tomorrow, old friend from middle school, Brian Bell, is having a birthday tomorrow. And musician of some note, Marcia Guderian, is also having a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday to those folks. Thursday, it's like, a big list. First of all, Fian Murphy, son of Kelly and Mary, who are in the house tonight. Fian is celebrating his birthday on Thursday. Also, Deputy Don Ashford of The Root, KTRT Radio up there in Winthrop, my old Kevlar buddy. Deputy Don is celebrating his birthday on Thursday. Pete Droge out on Vashon Island is celebrating his birthday. Ruth Smith, first student buddy, celebrating her birthday. Mark Hoffman and Elise Dahlberg also celebrating their birthdays on Thursday. Happy birthday to all those folks. Friday, only one. The one and only Orville Johnson celebrating his birthday on Friday. Don't forget to wish Orville a happy birthday. Saturday, Lori Trout celebrating her birthday on Saturday. Lori Trout. Also Jim Valley, an amazing singer-songwriter, former member of Paul Revere and the Raiders, and a children's performer that's been very well respected here and worldwide for many, many years. Jim Valley having his birthday on Saturday. Also Mary Daly. Yes, mom of John Daly. Having her birthday on Saturday. And Jill Sunday from back there, Mason Junior High, Stadium High School. Jill Sunday having her birthday on Saturday as well. On Sunday, Mr. David Roth, a great singer-songwriter that I have met a few times in my life. David Roth having his birthday on Sunday. On Monday, Nicole Newman. Yes, Nicole Newman, knee strep out there, is having her birthday on Monday, as is Deb Calloway and Andrea Erickson, another former Stadiumite, having her birthday on Sunday. Happy birthday to all those folks. If I'm missing them, it's because I don't know about them. What can I say? Okay, I'm going to finish up with this one tonight, folks, because my hands are kind of going, and other parts ain't far behind, so try to get this squared away by next week. I should also mention that on April the 6th, the first Tuesday in April, myself and Ms. Marjorie Richards, and I hope Nancy Reinhold also will be performing together, doing another multi-screen, multi-rectangle show. Yeah, so there'll be 2 rectangles for the price of 1. That's on the first Tuesday in April. And if I have to take a week off between now and then, I'm going to go ahead and do it, because I want to be all rested up for that one. Okay? Thank you for your patience and for your understanding. And thank you for holding me up. Because you hold me up. I mean, you hold me upright. Okay? So thanks for that. And I want to thank Diane.
Will you come away with me, oh Diane, my darling? Will you come away with me to lie on the verge of the salty sea, and to know it's where we're meant to be, oh Diane, my darling? And shall I wear a suit of black, oh Diane, my darling? Shall I wear a suit of black to walk with the friends who won't come back, and to finally make my peace with that, oh Diane, my darling? Will they dig a proper grave, oh Diane, my darling? And will they dig a proper grave near to the drum of the breaking wave? And will the grandkids all behave, oh Diane, my darling? And will they sing a song I wrote, oh Diane, my darling? Will they sing a song I wrote they found in the pocket of a threadbare coat, and then fold it up into a paper boat, oh Diane, my darling? And will they shed a grateful tear, oh Diane, my darling? Will they shed a grateful tear for the ruffled sea that brought us here, and then raise a glass to the coming year, oh Diane, my darling? And will you come away with me, oh Diane, my darling? And will you come away with me to lie on the verge of the salty sea, and to know it's where we're meant to be, oh Diane, my darling?
Well, there you go, folks. We all lived. We did. We all lived. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Yeah. And I will try and be back next week. Yes, we will see how it goes. Thanks so much, everybody who comes, everybody who throws up the hearts and the thumbs and the fun. It makes it so much nice, so very nice. Makes, standing here and playing guitar for a little while so much more fun. Thank you for doing this for me. I appreciate it so much. We'll be back next week, okay? All right, see you then.